What up, reader family? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Nope Trope book tag that was created by Zoe from over at Zoe's All Booked. I will leave a link to her channel down below in the description along with her original video as well. Essentially, she created some questions tied to some tropes that she says nope to. We'll see how well I match up with her on this book tag and if I agree with the tropes that she says nope to, or if I'm a sucker for them. So without trope ado, I hate myself. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's trope it up. First up, we have the eavesdropping with miscommunication trope. Name a book that you heard great things about and expected to love, but then ended up hating it. Ooh, the eavesdropping with miscommunication trope. I'm not a fan either. Actually, I don't mind the eavesdropping because I too am a eavesdropper. I'm a nosy person. I like to know things that I probably don't necessarily always need to know, but the miscommunication part ain't it. I guess it all just kind of really depends on the situation, but miscommunication is something that aggravates me to no end. But at the same time, I'm also not very good at communicating my feelings, so who am I really to judge? Anyway, the book I'm choosing for this one, hate is a strong word, but I really don't like you. What even is that song? Google, help me out. It's by the Plain White T's. I didn't realize they wrote that song. Hey there, Delilah, who? One that I was going into with the expectation that I was going to love it, but I ended up kind of underwhelmed by is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I can't say turtles and not think of the I like turtles meme. This book is about a girl named Asa who pursues the mystery of a local billionaire who has gone missing. And throughout the story, we also follow her journey with mental illness. Now, I'm not saying that this book was bad, it just wasn't for me. John Green is an author where I will always give his books a try no matter what, because he played a big role in getting me interested in reading again in high school, so I owe him quite a bit. He helps me find my way back to the world of reading, and the best way that I can repay him is by reading his books when he pops them out in the world. Pop! This one just felt very dry to me in terms of the writing style, which in some ways did kind of fit the tone of the story, but it just didn't work for me. The characters, on the other hand, are what really kind of left me feeling iffy about the book, because they felt so one-sided, as if a car had come over and just run over their personalities and flattened them out. Which to me is something that often doesn't happen in John Green's books. Like, I always feel like his characters are really fleshed out well, you really get to know them, they have interesting personalities. To me, they usually feel pretty well-rounded. I will say that the mental illness aspect of the book was written really well, and I can totally tell why so many people connected with that aspect of the book. But overall, it just didn't really plunge me into the book love pool. It was more of a belly flop situation for me. Kinda hurt, kinda regretted it, but here we are. Next, the love triangle trope. Name a series where you can't pick your favorite book. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know how I feel about love triangles. I feel nothing for them. In my opinion, the love triangle trope gotta go. At least let it disappear for a little while, and then it can make a comeback in like 10 years. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with the archived series. Does this count? Because it's only 2 books. I'll be the third participant in this love triangle. Though for that to be the case, they gotta love me back, which they probably don't because it's been a long time since I've read them. I've neglected these babies. But honestly, I love them equally. If you don't know what the archived is all about, we follow a girl named Mackenzie who is a keeper for the archived, and the archived is the library of the dead. The dead are called histories, and sometimes the histories slip into the real world. It's Mackenzie's job to go and fetch the histories and bring them back to the archived. What is it that I love about these books? What don't I love about these books? I love everything about them. I love the urban fantasy factor, how it mixes in the real world but also brings in some magic. I loved seeing the relationship that Mackenzie has with her grandfather in the first book, and seeing all the things that he instilled in her over time and how that kind of helps her in her position within the archived. I love Mackenzie and Wesley as a duo. They just complement each other so well, and together they are unstoppable, and their banter back and forth is just so solid. Also, this is one of those books where for me, when I heard the concept, I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And then I read the books and I was like, oh, hot dang, these were executed so well. Which a lot of books can't relate these days. A lot of books have awesome sounding concepts and then you read them and you're just super underwhelmed. That was not the case here. I really need to reread these soon, but also Victoria Schwab needs to drop that 3rd book ASAP. Gift us that 3rd book, queen. I need it. Next, the I'm not like other girls trope, or the I didn't know I was beautiful trope. Name a book that has a beautiful cover but was boring as heck. I hate this trope right here. Yeah, not a fan of this trope either. Alexa, play What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. Actually, scratch that, don't. You don't know you're beautiful, that's what makes you beautiful. Yeah, no, not a fan of this trope either. To the electric chair with it. I'm gonna say one that I DNF'd earlier this year, and that is The Descendant of the Crane. I am obsessed with this cover. I love it so much. I want the artist to have more of their pieces on book covers because I love this style. Can you you tell I love it with how intensely I'm talking about it? I need to chill, rein it in here. It was why initially I was like, do I ditch the book or do I hold on to it? Because I want to hold on to it for the cover alone, but like the story itself, can't really get into it. Unfortunately, beautiful covers can disguise books that aren't that great, albeit I did DNF this one, so it could have gotten better over time the more that I read it, but I decided to not push myself to read it, because sometimes when you force yourself to read something, you can end up in a reading slump, and I didn't want that to happen. There's a couple reasons as to why I DNF'd it. The first one is that I found it kind of hard to get into. Maybe had I gave it more time and kept reading, it would have gotten better and I would have ended up in the love boat, but instead I threw it overboard. There were parts about it that I liked. For example, I loved the setting and I loved the writing style, but at the same time, the writing style was this book's downfall for me. The magic system was described through this really flowery writing style and I was never able to like fully grasp onto it. And I like flowery writing, like that's right up my alley, but I need there to be a balance of like beautiful poetic writing and also making sure that like your magic system is concrete and I fully understand it. I felt like what I had read, I was just like walking through the dark the whole time and I really needed the author to come through and turn on the lights. So for me, this was a beautiful book cover, but the book itself just didn't really hit the mark for me. But I do want to give this author another chance in the future, that's for sure. Next, the all-consuming love trope. Name a book that gave you a book hangover. I've never really thought about this one, but I feel like, yeah, it's not one that's up my alley either, because I feel like I prefer my characters to not get so swept away in love to where it's like all-consuming and all they think about, all they talk about, it like becomes their personality. Like, no, don't let yourself get so completely lost in love. Anyway, I know what I'm picking for this one. It's for sure going to You Should See Me in a Crown. No, not the Billie Eilish song. But yes, I do sing that song every time in my head when I see this title. This book is about a girl named Liz who dreams of moving away from her hometown, and she plans on doing that through college, but when financial aid doesn't come through, she's left scrambling trying to figure out how she's going to make enough money for college to work. Then she remembers the fact that when you win prom queen and prom king, you get a scholarship. And she's suddenly thrust into the competition to get that crown. I know that like everybody is talking about this book lately and everybody is reading this book lately, but I'm glad that they are because it's so freaking good. Like it's one of the most wholesome, pure books that I've read in a long time. And it just made me feel so happy after I read it. I just wanted to ride out that happiness and not let any bad book come through and destroy that happy parade I was on. Not on my watch. So if you've been feeling blue lately and you've been needing a happy book, might I recommend You Should See Me in a Crown. Next, the douchebag trope. Name a book that took you a while to get into, but then you ended up loving it. Nope, not a fan of the douchebags either, especially because I feel like a lot of the times they start off as a douchebag and the author's like, oh, but they have all these reasons for being a douchebag, and it's like, yeah, sure, they have all these reasons, but that does not excuse them being a douchebag. Nope, nope, nope. I'm very passionate about this. For this one, I'm choosing The Perfect Escape. I feel like I keep picking contemporaries, but I have been on a contemporary kick lately. I just can't help myself. This book is about Nate, who is trying to get his hands on some money to both support himself going to college and also to help support his family. When he meets Kate at his job, the opportunity to get his hands on some cash presents itself in the form of this zombie-themed competition. The winning team gets a huge cash prize, and Nate and Kate are willing to do what it takes to get their hands on that prize. But the competition might cause a rift in their relationship. I read this one recently and I really struggled to get into it because I feel like I just couldn't match with the flow. Flow, baby, flow. I think the beginning tries really hard to grab you, and I appreciated its effort. I was like, I see you trying your best, but let me come around to you, boo. Let me match my flow with your flow and we'll be all good. I'd say like after 75 pages or so is when I really started to get interested in the characters and the plot, and by the end of it, I really ended up enjoying the book overall. It's chucked full of so much ridiculous humor and puns galore, so naturally it was right up my alley. And it was the perfect escape from reality. Pun intended. And lastly, share your favorite trope and your least favorite trope. For the tropes I love, I'm a sucker for enemies to lovers. I haven't even really read that many, so fill up my comments with some recommendations, please. There's just something so satisfying about two characters who despise each other, flipping the switch and ending up in the love boat. And seeing that progression internally, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. That internal conflict does it for me. Myself and book shopping are the real life enemies to lovers. I love you because who doesn't love getting new books, but I hate you because who likes losing money? A trope that I feel like I'd really like is friends to lovers. I feel like I haven't really read that many books with friends to lovers. I'm sure that I have read some with that trope in it, but I'm blanking on all books ever, even though I have a full bookshelf behind me full of books galore, and there's probably the friends to lovers trope in here here somewhere, but I feel like I need it to be super slow burn and potentially have it in a book series where they're not madly in love by the end of book 1. Like, no, 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 no. Let's not do that. That's too fast for my liking. Like, let's put our foot on the brake, please. I need y'all to spend some time in slow motion first. But maybe by book 4, they're in love. That works for me. I also can't have it where I know they're gonna end up together by their first interaction. Like, if you're hinting at their love super early on like that, I'm gonna say pass. Give me very obscure hints, not hints that are like, we linked eyes and now I can't stop thinking about them till the end of time. That's foot on the gas mode, and remember, I need foot on the brake mode, and where you're slowly bringing your foot off the brake. I feel like I really just kind of over-explained that, huh? As for tropes I hate, I'm pretty basic. I'm not here for the insta-love. Love triangles belong in the dumpster. And the I'm not like other girls trope can take a rest. Maybe I wouldn't hate these tropes if they weren't overused. But alas, that's exactly what they are. Somebody give these tropes a break. They're tired and I'm tired of this. Alright guys, that's it for the Nope Trope book tag. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, thank you to Zoe for making this tag. I will leave her original video down below in the description. Go and check that out. And if you want to do this tag, then well, pow, you've been tagged by me. Do the tag. You guys should let me know some of your favorite tropes and also some of your least favorite tropes. Let me know in the comments down below. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye-o!